Every single aspect from Stardew Valley was stolen. Absolutely stolen from another game. Before we get started, this video is 98.47% inaccurate and is completely satire. With that being said, let's get started. At its core, Stardew Valley is a 2D pixel art farming simulator. You will start off with a couple seeds, and over time you will create a mega farming corporation. Farming in video games is just really fun, and the way Stardew Valley did it just makes sense. But it is time for the truth to be revealed. Concerned Ape, the developer of Stardew Valley, stole the entire farming simulator idea from another game. Stardew Valley did not do it first. Stardew Valley stole the idea of farming from Pokemon. Yeah, Pokemon. You might think this idea of farming came from a game called Harvest Moon, but that is wrong. It was Pokemon. In Pokemon, you can plant berries, and they will grow just like in Stardew Valley. In Pokemon X and Y, there was an entire berry field and over 50 different crops that you can find and grow. Pokemon had farming first, so I think Stardew Valley needs to finally give recognition to Pokemon for absolutely stealing this concept. Sure, in Pokemon, you can only grow berries and it has basically nothing to do with the game. And farming in Stardew Valley requires tons of effort, and the entire game is centered around it. Pokemon still did it first. Despicable, right? Stardew Valley has an incredible, comprehensive relationship system. You start off being a brand new person in a town filled with villagers, all with existing established relationships with each other. You as the new person in town can get to know each and every person through a very complex, multi-dimensional conversational system where you can even gift townspeople random items. They might love or hate these items. Either way, with a lot of hard work, planning, and dedication, you can befriend all of the villagers. But wait, there is more. If you especially like someone, you can marry them and start a family. That sounds amazing, right? Imagine marrying an NPC in a video game. Wait, my spidey senses are tingling. This has been done before. Wait, are you trying to say that Stardew Valley stole the entire marriage feature from another game? From a game where marriage is the entire gameplay loop? What game did Stardew Valley absolutely plagiarize, you might ask? SKYRIM. Stardew Valley stole marriage from SKYRIM. Let's look at the similarities quickly. Stardew Valley has marriage. SKYRIM has marriage. In Stardew Valley, your spouse does nothing. In SKYRIM, your spouse does nothing. Stolen feature confirmed. I bet even the source code is a direct copy pasta from Skyrim. Skyrim would just not be the same without its fundamental marriage system. It just ties the game together perfectly. Stardew Valley, on the other hand, just plopped marriage in because Skyrim did it. One of my personal favorite mechanics in Stardew Valley is the hyper-realistic fishing minigame. You start off by throwing your line into some water. Bait is optional but highly recommended. After a short wait, a fish latches onto your line and you and the fish start a one-on-one battle to determine a winner. Your goal is to completely suffocate the fish by keeping your fishing bar on the fish. And the fish just wants to escape due to the complete fear of being eaten alive for some energy. The reward for successfully defeating a fish in battle is that you get to keep the fish and do whatever you want with it. And if the fish wins, they get to swim away until you catch onto them again. A fair trade. This little fishing minigame is fun, but it's time to face the truth. This is not original at all. Actually, this entire fishing minigame was completely stolen from The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. Absolutely despicable. Games like Zelda are incomplete without fishing, right? At least Stardew Valley implemented the fishing minigame in a superb, perfect way. It doesn't change the fact that a great crime has been committed. In Stardew Valley, you will have to dive into the mines and mine rocks and ores for precious resources to progress through the game. Without copper, iron, and gold, you will be stuck at the lowest levels of the game forever. The mining aspect of Stardew Valley is probably one of the most relaxing things you can do. Just hit some rocks with your pickaxe and hoard some of the resources until you need it. But wait, this sounds familiar, doesn't it? Hitting rocks for ores and resources that you can use to upgrade and make things easier for you in the future. This is exactly 100% the same as Animal Crossing's mining mechanisms. In Animal Crossing, you hit a rock and it gives you resources. In Stardew Valley, you hit rocks and they give you resources. Wow, I never thought Stardew Valley stole from Animal Crossing until now. They are completely different games after all, but the audacity! Stardew Valley also stole another mechanic from Animal Crossing. In Animal Crossing, time goes by in real time. In Stardew Valley, time goes by and 10 in-game minutes will last about 13 seconds. The way the time is handled might seem very different, but do not be manipulated. Both games have time and Animal Crossing had time first. Stardew Valley has one of the fastest, most adrenaline-pumping combat out of any game I have ever played. If you thought Doom Eternal was a fast-paced game, then you have never played Stardew Valley. This game will have you absolutely crushing it in the mines, your heart rate will spike, and if you make a single mistake, you will be defeated in battle. The Stardew Valley combat is just so unique and was expertly crafted. Wait, did I say unique? Oops, I almost forgot about a game that has an identical one-to-one copy combat system as Stardew Valley. Or should I say, Stardew Valley completely copied the combat system from Final Fantasy VII's combat system. Final Fantasy VII features an incredibly fast-paced, action-packed, turn-based combat. That sounds familiar, right? Stardew Valley at least had the original idea of removing the turn-based aspect. But besides for that, it is an actual carbon copy. In Stardew Valley, you start off on a low floor, and as you progress through the mines and the skull cavern, you reach deeper floors with harder enemies and better loot. That means the game gets progressively harder as you progress through it. This also sounds familiar, doesn't it? Wow, another feature absolutely stolen, but this time it was stolen from the anime Sword Art Online. At least Stardew Valley had the courage to take aspects from multiple places and turn it into one coherent feature. Last and most definitely not least, Stardew Valley has plenty of collectibles, like finding and donating all of the artifacts for the museum, cooking every food item in the game, and painstakingly finding every piece of clothing in the game. These collectibles artificially increase the length of the game and it works really well. But alas, the entire idea was stolen from another game that does it so much better. And I am sure you know exactly what game I am talking about. Dark Souls, of course. In Dark Souls, you need to collect every ring in the game, but some of the rings can only be obtained in New Game Plus 1 and even New Game Plus 3. Wow, what a great feature! Thankfully, Stardew Valley stole this amazing feature too. And those are all the aspects and mechanisms that Stardew Valley did not steal from these games. I was just having some fun with this video and hopefully I made you laugh at how stupid these points were. If you enjoyed this video, consider hitting subscribe for more fun videos. But for now, I will see you in the next video.